Hello, our audiences, Prime Media. This is Ladette joining you from the Pan-African conference that's being held at the Sheraton. I'm here with a guest, Reverend Bronson Woods, who is here, who arrived last night. I'm going to ask him a few questions. Reverend, welcome to Ethiopia. What brings you here? Please tell us a little bit about yourself. It seems like you're involved with the Ethiopian community. So please give us a few minutes and explain to us why you're here.
I'm here because I'm always here. Ethiopia has a very, very special place in my heart. I've been coming here every year, 3 or 4 times a year for the past 10 years. I have the dubious honor of serving as the assistant pastor of young adults and outreach ministry at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. Yes, Ebenezer Baptist Church is the spiritual home of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Atlanta, Georgia. For the past 3 years, I have brought a large delegation of young professionals, young African American professionals from all over the U.S., but the majority come from Ebenezer Baptist Church, bringing them here to Africa, specifically here to Ethiopia, so that they can see for themselves the beauty that exists here, the community, and the fellowship. And to fellowship with the people and fellowship with God. So my purpose of coming here, as I've always done, is to correct the narrative. As you know, media has, down through the years, have given a poor projection of Ethiopia, Africa in general. My mission is to correct that narrative, bring African Americans here, young, gifted blacks here so that they can see for themselves and so that they can come back and tell the true story. The Ethiopian story is our story. It makes no sense for the continued false narratives. I want to bring them here so that they can dwell within the truth of the matter, and come back and tell the proper narrative. We are no stranger to being falsely accused, right, as African Americans. So I wanted them to come here to experience for themselves, not to come here to preach anything, but to be amongst the people of God. And we fellowship in community together, and we will grow together. And again, tell the positive story that exists right here in the beauty of the Horn of Africa, the only uncolonized country on the continent.
You said you've been coming here for quite some time. And each time you bring, you bring about 20 people, and they're young? What is their experience after they leave here? I mean, this is a very interesting trip for them, I'm pretty sure. And how is that, exchange helping them? Because we obviously have a lot of Ethiopian Americans, and there's a lot that they gain through going to the United States, and to actually also have African Americans come here where they can really learn about their ancestors. What are the changes that you see in the African Americans that you bring here in Ethiopia?
Absolutely. The experience that they come in touch with is life-changing. Initially, they were fearful of coming to Africa altogether, and of all places, Ethiopia. But they took me by my word, and they came. And we served in a few different mission homes. Yes, we served in Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity in Sidas Kilo, and as well as Children's Heaven. So we were able to serve, provide, nursing care for a lot of individuals. But most importantly, we were able to dwell amongst the natives. We were able to connect with some of the high-level officials. Last year, I brought about a team of 40. And Her Excellency, the President of Ethiopia, welcomed us into the palace, all 40 of us. And she was astonished by the number of African Americans, young professionals. And these are doctors, lawyers, pastors, educators, engineers, coming to explore the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is right here. When I say life changing, mind changing, and heart changing, that is what took place. And like I said, last year I brought 40 people. At the height of the pandemic did not keep them. And here we are this year. We're still in the pandemic. I'm bringing 20, and they're on the way in a matter of days because they want to be here. They're not scared anymore. So change the mind, change the heart. They're no longer fearing, according to what false media has presented, because they have met the heart. They have dwelt with the people, and they have met God with the people through fellowship. So therefore, they're coming because they want to. They're coming to correct the narrative and to have that moment of fellowship, which is most important to them. Again, you have young, gifted, black professionals from various professions coming here in a pandemic to be with the people here. And they're very, very excited to go back and tell the story. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. Thought in the days that our hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat, we continue on our feet. That is out of one of the songs called the Negro National Anthem. And as we come here, not only are we bringing words and presence of encouragement, but we likewise take back from the Horn of Africa words and warmth of encouragement to share with the people in the divided states of America. The things that we've learned here of how people here are more together than they are apart. We all have our ups and our downs and our issues, but at the end of the day, everyone here that we've recognized, they have a coffee pot. You can live from Bole all the way down to Mercato. You have a coffee pot, and the coffee is the greatest resource here in the Horn of Africa. And regardless of what took place during the day, at the end of the day, if one household is having coffee, you're welcome to it. That's the beauty of fellowship. That's what the United States of America needs to learn from the Horn of Africa. And those are the type of things that we bring back, the sense of community. Because if we come together as one, there will be more peace, there will be more love, there will be more joy, there will be more encouragement, there will be more people standing for the truth of the matter and rewriting the story according to the proper narrative. So we are very honored to come here. Whether we met with the president, whether we met with the prime minister, we dwell with the people. We dwell with the people. We're not afraid because we recognize them as family. We don't come here as missionaries of old, but we come here as extended persons of family. And we're just so happy and grateful to be able to go back and tell the right story.
How do you encourage Ethiopian to reach out to African American communities? Whether it's through church or through other organizations, how can we increase the people that come here? What are the ways? What do you see? What are the shortages? Because we really do need to have many more African Americans to come and visit. What can we do better from this side?
One of the several things that I guess you all can do on this side is to take an interest in the African American community, because those of us who are in the diaspora, whether you like it or not, you're a part of the African American community. And we are family. We are community. As you know the history, we didn't come to America, willingly. We were kidnapped. We were placed into chattel slavery. And so we came against our will. Our children were taken away from us. Families were broken up amongst us. And so, like I said, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. So we came against our own will. However, we made the best of it. And so we welcome the Ethiopian, the Eritrean, the Tigrinian, the Amhara communities to look at the African American community as family. And I will also point out that they have shown up as community. As you know, last year we had a situation of injustice that you've seen all across the world. The murder of George Floyd. Not only did we have blacks and whites, but we also had several Eritrean, several Ethiopian, several people of the Horn of Africa in the streets of Atlanta, in the streets of Houston, Texas, in the streets all over the world. And this is family. When you bleed, I bleed. When you hurt, I hurt. And some of the things that we've done here lately, me personally, over the past month and a half in the hashtag No More movement, I recognize that cry in front of the Ebenezer Baptist Church. They weren't protesting in front of us, but they were protesting in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King, right? We march on until victory is won. And so I recognized it. And the King Center is directly across the street from us. And so I personally came out and wanted to see what was going on. And that's where I met Miss Ferdos. And I seen the sea of people. And I immediately invited all of them into the Ebenezer Baptist Church. And inside the Ebenezer Baptist Church, they seen Ethiopia. They seen where we make the connection. I was able to tell the story of our coming back and forth to Ethiopia. And as I came closer to the movement, rallying is great. Protesting is great. You get attention, but you get more work done when you get meetings with the policy, the people who are responsible with policy change and legislation. So since I've been in communication and in fellowship with the Eritrean and the Ethiopian community of Atlanta, I have brought them in to top level meetings with the policy director of the Congressional Black Caucus. I was responsible for getting them a meeting with Georgia's first black elected United States Senator, Raphael G. Warnock. He's also serves as the senior pastor of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. And I've also had an opportunity to connect them with the concerned black clergy of Atlanta, reaching out. And prior to me connecting them, they never really thought about it. But now they see that we're approachable. Now they see that we are a part of the family. Now they see that I see them. We see them. And as with any country, with any family, you have a little bit of division or confusion, but just know that we're there. We have NAACP. We have the National Urban League. We have the Congressional Black Caucus, which is the conscience of the black community. And if you're from the Horn of Africa, if you're from Africa and you live in America, you are African American. And the Congressional Black Caucus represents your voice. So when you hear things about hashtag no more and hearing of issues of Ethiopia trying to fight against terrorism, you should look no further for leaders until you look to the Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus should be expected to stand and lead the efforts on the behalf of the marginalized people. This is what they claim that they are there for. And so, and just know that, your voters as well. So your vote, and more importantly, your voice matters. And so rallying is a great thing. Protesting is a great thing because it gets the attention. But what's most important is coming to the table for the conversation with the policymakers, befriending the community leaders. That's how you join together as one, because the few become many, and it's the many that make the change. And that's how we're able to do the work. And the work is being done in Atlanta, and it can be done all across this country. But just know that the black community is there as family, because we are the marginalized. We know what it's like to be, told a false narrative, Amongst African Americans, there's so many successful African Americans all across the country of the United States of America. However, the story that's put out, are the robbing, are the killing, are the story that does not represent the complete African American story, So you all are familiar with how, sound bites of the story are getting out. And so, again, our purpose is to correct the narrative, to look at one another as brothers and sisters, not stepchildren, but brothers, brothers and blood sisters. When you bleed, we bleed.
Thank you so much, Reverend. We are very honored that you're here again, and we obviously feel like your family. Once your delegates come, we want to host you, we want to help. Are you going to be going around Ethiopia? And because these are new cohorts, each time you come with new cohorts, right? People who have never been to Ethiopia. So that's wonderful. Thank you for all you do already for Ethiopia, and I hope that we can, continue to collaborate and increase the amount of people that will have this experience. I believe that this is a life-changing experience. I mean, it's a life-changing experience for me to have been in America, so it's got to be the same for these youths. So it's an amazing job that you're doing. I really have a lot of respect for you. Any other message that you have in 1 minute or so we can conclude?
This is a message of hope, a message of encouragement, a message of peace. To my brothers and sisters here in the Horn of Africa, please know that we are one. We, African Americans, we, the marginalized community, we, the oppressed community, we join you as one as we continue together to do the work to ensure that our Ethiopia, our beloved Ethiopia, remains untouched, unbothered, uncolonized, and forever great, forever wonderful, and forever pouring out the goodness of the Horn of Africa. We are one. We are the people who can do it. Let's join in. I'm Reverend Bronson Elliott Woods of Atlanta, Georgia.